I want to redesign my art studio because right now it is messy, it's plain, it's not giving me much of a creative boom that I need, and it's not helping me be creative. So we're gonna change that today and just make it look so much better. So this is what the studio currently looks like. It is a big fat mess, so we're gonna change it. So we moved into this place a little while ago, a couple of months ago actually, and I just haven't had the time. I haven't made my studio space my space. So today we are going to clean up the studio, make it look a lot better, and I also want to put a whole bunch of stuff on the walls, sort out a space for my desk and the cords and the cables. I also want to at some point invest in another desk so I can do traditional art on the one side and digital art on the other side, because I feel that's going to help split my brain up, you know. So yeah, I want to do that today as well. Okay, so I've managed to move everything around, put my desk in a spot where I want it to be. I wish that I could get like a little bookshelf or something, but it is a Sunday and all the shops are closed in France on a Sunday, so I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow if I want to go and look for storage units or anything. But yeah, I'm gonna try go through all my art supplies now, get them into groups so that I can group them nicely and see, yeah, what needs to go where. I have like a never-ending supply of art supplies, which is true because I do have a never-ending supply of art supplies. But anyway, so now that I'm done putting away all my art supplies, I need to set up the new desk that I bought. I got one for my traditional art workspace, so it'll sit next to my digital art workspace, and this one is slightly larger than the digital art one, which is quite nice because I bought a tabletop drafting board easel that I want to place on top of this one, and I'll be able to use it as like a desk easel stand, so it needed to be a bit longer. So this is 140 centimeters, 1.40 meters, the tabletop, which I really like, and I like that it's the light wood because I kind of had this idea of going with light mode for traditional art and then like a dark mode type of look and feel for my digital art space. I also decided that I needed to buy a new lamp as well because I've got a digital art lamp that I use, and now I need a traditional art lamp for things when I don't have my main studio lights on. This is just something nice. Obviously my little room is quite dark, and now that it's going into winter and it's raining, I don't know if you can hear the rain right now while I'm recording this, that it's pouring with rain, and that makes it very, very dark. So I need as much light as I can if I want to be recording as well. So the first lamp that I got was a very warm light, which is not really nice for filming art. So I did end up changing that lamp to a much cooler temperature, which has been done now. And so I've just been playing with how I wanted to lay out the desks. And as you can see, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done, but at least, yeah, the desks are set up, and I've kind of gone through most of my art supplies, but it's still very untidy at the moment. So yeah, we've still got a lot of cleaning to do. I also had this idea of putting up some of the art on the walls, but then after seeing it, it actually looked really overwhelming and I didn't like it at all. So I took them all down, and I didn't actually end up using it because we had a chest of drawers that I had downstairs, and we moved that upstairs into my studio so I could fill it with more art supplies. So it wouldn't have worked out having all the art on the walls anyway, and I kind of liked it that way, just having the bare walls. Then I ended up packing the chest of drawers full of art supplies. I got some paint, but the one drawer, okay, so we live in a very, very old house. It was built in like 1850 something, so it's really, really old, and the floorboards are all uneven. That's the whole reason we're not using these drawers downstairs anymore, because the floors were uneven and they like messed up the chest of drawers and they went all wonky. So yeah, it doesn't close, but it's okay. I just press stick them closed quickly. Then I also wanted to frame some of my art, but I dropped my craft knife down behind the chest of drawers, obviously, and I had just filled them with all my supplies. So they were very, very heavy and I had to move them and fetch the craft knife so I could continue. Also, don't forget to be very, very careful when you use a craft knife. I have this giant scar on my hand because I slipped my hand open a couple of years ago with a craft knife. It was not pretty. So just a reminder to be very careful when using a knife. Anyway, this is a marker art piece that I actually made the other day. And I actually filmed a YouTube video, so click here if you want to check it out. And yeah, I really, really like how it came out. So I wanted to frame it and put it in a nice frame, but I had to crop it, so I did that. And then I actually didn't even end up putting this in my studio. I put it downstairs in the lounge, but it's okay. Next up, I had to do cord management because knowing me, I am going to trip all over these cords and fall flat on my face if they are not taped down and moved out the way. So I had to untangle the extension cord and reorganize all of my cables. I also had this really good idea to tape down my plug points so that they don't move around, which I really like because I hate having to dig through cables and cords. I can't stand cables and cords. So I did all of that and got them all nicely. And then I thought, hey, let me get one of those cord organizers. So I quickly hopped onto Amazon and got one of those. So while we're waiting for that to arrive, I just put up a little piece of tape, double-sided tape on the wall and stuck my cords on the tape just to see what it would look like. And after seeing that, I liked it and I thought that this will make my workflow quite efficient. The one had arrived, so let's quickly stick the cord organizer onto the wall and voila, nice and straight and beautiful. Now I've got to just put all my cords into the cord organizer. And it looks lovely. Next, we have to now sort out all the cords for my traditional art workspace side. So I did the exact same thing, sort of taped everything down. As you can see, it is a very rainy and cold day in France today. Anyway, back to the studio. This is the desktop drafting board easel that I was telling you about. So this fits really nicely on the left side. And then on the right side, I can do stuff as well at the same time. I also wanted to put up some more frames on the staircase leading up to my little art studio in the attic. So I had two artworks that I had painted. This is a gouache painting that I did of a cow. About 2 years ago I painted this, and the next is just a quick little pen drawing that I did of a rhino. And I thought that they would look quite nice next to each other in black frames going up the staircase. So I quickly chucked those together and popped them in their respective flames. I just popped them in their respective frames that I found. And the next step is now to hang them. Now, oh my goodness, it can be quite a debacle hanging frames. I don't know if anyone else struggles with this sometimes, but oh my word, I do so much back and forth, and then I put the hammer on the floor and then the nails on the floor, then I've got to fetch it and then make sure it's straight, and then it's wonky, then you pull the nail out, and oh my goodness. So sometimes this can be a bit of a mission, even for artists like me who frame stuff all the time. But anyway, here I am framing and hanging the frames. And eventually, after a couple of minutes, I managed to get it all nicely and straight. That's a good one, always to have your frames nice and straight. And yeah, so I got all of that sorted and done and knocked them into the wall. And now we are nearing the end of the studio makeover. It is very exciting, so I can't wait to show you. I also just want to quickly show you the power of studio lights. I invested in these studio lights. My studio softbox lights arrived last week and they are amazing. So this is with all of the lights on. This is with one studio light off, two studio lights, all the lamps off and the main light off. And then this is with one studio light on. You can see it makes a crazy difference. So today the studio is finally done. I'm really, really excited to show you guys what it looks like. As you can see, I've also got some softbox lighting, so that also arrived in the 2-3 weeks that I've been redoing the studio. I'm really happy with it. I love that I have a traditional art workspace and then I've got a digital art workspace. I've also got a really nice area where I can work on my Oculus in my VR headset if I need to for work. So this whole area here, this open space, can be transformed into a VR workspace as well, which is really cool. And I'm really happy I've got such a nice area to just be creative in. And without further ado, let's take a look. anyway guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and you can see a little bit into my workspace. Have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you soon.